You're listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast, a podcast for women navigating divorce who want more. More clarity, more money, more peace, more power. I'm Megan Norris, divorce expert, coach, and the friend who's going to tell you the truth. Not just about what's happening right now, but about what's possible for you next. This podcast is about making decisions you trust, building a life you actually want, and becoming the version of you that no one saw coming. Whether you're in it, ending it, or already out, you're in the right place. You're about to become the CEO of your life and create one so good it doesn't make sense. Let's get started. Well, hi, welcome back to the podcast. I have a couple of announcements and then we're going to dive in to today's topic. I have decided, this is a little behind the scenes, in my business. If you are not on my email list or working with me currently, then you don't know this, that I've decided at the end of the year, my membership is closing. The enrollment for it's already closed, but it will end for the current members at the end of the year. And I wanted to let you in on why and give you, not just because it's fun to have a behind the scenes perspective on someone's business. I'm always curious, but it's also a really great example of the mindset that I want you to work to embody during your divorce for sure, but definitely afterwards. Because here's what I see. It's very easy to get locked into this pattern of only changing when there's a crisis. And if we wait to change until there's a crisis, we're really not, we're not fully empowered as the creator of our own reality. We're in wait and see and response and react mode, which is okay. It's not a problem, except you don't want that. That's why you're here. You want to take affirmative action in your life and create things from a place of desire, not just from crisis. We're all good at changing when there's a crisis. You know, it's like somebody finds out they have lung cancer and they stop smoking the next day. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why couldn't you have done that 20 years ago? Right? It's human nature not to do that, but we don't have to just agree with our survival instinct. We can decide that we're going to go first. We're not going to wait until we have to react to something. And so oftentimes that means letting go of something good that's really working to make room for something great. And part of this is not becoming too risk adverse. The further we get from divorce, the more comfortable we get in the status quo of, okay, I'm okay. I'm being the sole provider. I'm raising the kids. I've got this. It's easy for our risk tolerance to go way down. And I'm going to speak to that a little bit more in just a second. But in terms of this offer, it's good. I love it. I love the price point. I love that you can come and go. I love the sheer amount of resources available to you inside that membership, the private podcast that comes with it. It's so juicy in there, and we have the best calls. But 6 months ago, I decided that I would take the next 6 months and scale that offer and see if I could crack that, unlock it, figure it out, because I hadn't to that point. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 months and then I'll revisit this decision, because I don't like hanging out in indecision, and I don't want to be reassessing this every month. That messes with the commitment and my momentum and all of that. So I gave myself 6 months. Well, here we are 6 months later, and it just didn't scale the way that I wanted it to. I have some theories on why. It's not relevant right now. That's a different episode, maybe in the private podcast, but it just didn't. Okay, so now what? It's good. And it is a nice chunk of change every month, right? So when I was looking at it and what I want to do, it would be really easy to be like, well, you don't just shut it down. You're making a significant portion of your income from it right now. Don't just walk away from that. Keep it going. Just don't sell it anymore. But here is the problem with that for me is that where I'm going, I still have so much more that I want to do and create and push the upper limits on. Like I'm still, this is early days still. This is only 3 years, 3 years. Wait, 3 years? Yeah, this is only 3.5 years into this business. It's kind of like a baby business still. There's so much more that I will do and create and experience. And right now, my schedule is so demanding that the time it takes to manage the content on the back end with my assistants, be on the calls, uh, create the marketing for it, the managing of the members coming in and out, which is part of the reason why I love that offer. It's taking up space in my mind, in my field, in my calendar that I want to free up for a time to see what lands, to see what else I want to create that's perhaps more aligned with who I'm becoming and what I want my brand to be, what I want my visibility to be, what I want access to me to look like. And so I have to be willing to align my life right now with that next iteration of me. And it's not comfortable. And it probably doesn't even make sense to a lot of people. Like, what? Are you insane? Like, bridge the gap. Don't just close it off. But I much prefer to just rip the band-aid. Like, I want to go all in. As soon as I know something, I'm like, what do I have to feel? What do I have to allow in order to take this risk to bet on myself and to trust that I will have my back and figure it out no matter what? And when I go first, the universe, she always meets me. She already has. It's so fun, by the way. Oh my gosh, the things that are like starting to um percolate in my in my reality are so fun. So I can tell that this energy of making these very powerful decisions about different things in my business and how I'm showing up and what I'm spending my time on and who I'm spending my time with is already starting to shift my reality. But what I had to be willing to feel to make that decision was sadness, pain, anxiety about disappointing those amazing women who are in that offer right now that I adore and that are getting so much out of it every week. I have to be willing to feel a little bit of, financial wobbliness and discomfort in order to kind of realign and shut down that offer and really focus on selling my mentorship right now, just for the end of the year. And it's okay. I'm not afraid to feel those things. And I don't want to become risk adverse because I'm playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And it's all about identity work. It's just all about scaling your nervous system. And I want to have more space to figure out how to say that more clearly about the divorce process itself, the legal divorce process, and also the initial period of time afterwards. It's such fertile soil to work with in terms of creating extraordinary experiences and extraordinary abundance and resources for yourself and a life that you wake up in thinking, oh my, what? I can't believe this is my life. And so I have to let that offer go for now. And I'm excited, but it's a 50-50 experience. I'm also sad. And but I can't wait to see what comes in next because of that. So that includes the private podcast too. I'm probably still going to drop episodes in there for the rest of the year, but it's not going to be every week. It's just a lot to record 2 podcasts every week and to decide what goes on where. And I want more space in my schedule. So that's what we're doing. behind the scenes over here, which ties in beautifully with this next story I'm going to tell you. It's a little bit of a case study. Because I've been focusing more on selling my private mentorship, I've been doing a lot more consultations, which is amazing because I just love meeting you and getting to spend 45 minutes on Zoom and help you decide if, this is what you want, is to work with me at that level. So I had this sweet woman, just incredible. She had so much life force and so much just like commitment to herself, right? She was really trying hard to figure out a way through what was feeling like incredible injustice. So she's been getting divorced for, I think, 4 plus 5 years. She's been in the process, and her soon to be ex makes millions of dollars, and they had to litigate because they couldn't settle. And through a series of misrepresentations and shady financial moves and however else this can play out, the ruling came back, as far as I understood it, that she was going to get about $3 million when she, you know, in another world, legally might have been entitled to millions more, right? Maybe 10 million, maybe 15 million, more. Details don't matter so much as the message here. And what causes me pain and to have so much compassion for anyone who's in a scenario like that, even if the numbers look different, is that you don't realize that you're going to be okay. There's so much scarcity and so much fear and so much anger and disbelief around the injustice of it all. Like, what? This can happen? And the truth is, yes, it can happen. And anyone who tells you that that's avoidable is just lying and like blowing smoke up your ass. Yes, that can happen. Somebody can get away with that. It happens more than any of us would like to admit. And the trauma of that, right, is so significant and so difficult to process and so upsetting that she had really disconnected from any belief of possibility that she was going to be okay no matter what. And it really highlighted how incredibly valuable or invaluable it is to have the proper strategic emotional support through this process. I wish that attorneys would not work with people unless they hired a coach in some form, because you have the legal process and you have the emotional process, right? And then there's a third leg for financial, right? You have financial stuff that needs to be worked out, you have the legal stuff, and then you have your emotional stuff that you've got to work through. And if you're missing any one of those three legs, it collapses, and you compromise the other two you compromise all the legs when that happens. And it can be a gap in any one of those areas of support. Now, it doesn't always mean that you hire somebody necessarily. It might mean just a different understanding of a financial concept, or it might mean a consult with an attorney rather than switching attorneys or even hiring one at all. Whatever that looks like for you, you really need solid support and a solid understanding of all three areas. And she had that in every area except the strategic emotional support. And your beliefs and your emotions and your energy are what create your reality. And I'm never going to stop trying to say that in a way that is understandable, because that's the first thing that gets cut. And what kills me is that it's this scarcity thought of, oh, I can't afford to do that. coupled with this, I can do it myself because I've done everything by myself for my entire life because I'm an overfunctioner and I'm highly capable and smart. So I can handle this. I can't afford to invest in myself. And from my perspective, you can't afford not to. Your scarcity costs you way more than it saves in money, in time, in suffering. Not to mention the delay in the future that you want, the delay in its arrival, or possibly its existence at all. And so I really just want to bring it back home for you that if you're neglecting your mindset and your emotional management and your nervous system, if you're not getting support that challenges your scarcity mindset. I'm not talking about the support that says, let's make a survival plan and we're going to get through this. We want to minimize the damage. That is not, what you're going to get when you do that? You're going to get damage that you believe has been minimized. Versus, I refuse to engage in this process like a victim, like it's happening to me. I will make powerful decisions and I will decide that there's a way to see everything that happens to me as a setup for something incredible. And I don't have to gaslight myself and I don't have to bypass my emotional experience of it in order for that to be true. When you do it that way, guess what you get? You only can win. No matter what happens, you win. And you don't not win against your ex, win against the past version of you that was stuck in scarcity and thought she had to do it all alone. You win against the culture of scarcity that is pervasive in the divorce space. Because I know if you come to a consult with me and you are half hysterical, I know that this is also how you're talking to your attorney, and your attorney hears nothing when you're like that. And you may not be emoting hysteria, but if you feel it on the inside, I guarantee you're making thought errors. You're making decisions based on thought errors, and it is compromising your divorce outcome, but more importantly, your future afterwards. I don't want you to go through this process in a way that requires you to take years to, quote, recover from it. When really we have so much fertile soil here to work with in the adversity of it all to transform your mindset, how you relate to your nervous system, how powerful you believe yourself to be, how capable you believe yourself to be. Because guess what? If you really believed in your own capability, you wouldn't hesitate to invest in yourself because you would believe that you always figure it out and that going first actually prevents loss. It doesn't create loss. So I wanted to share that story with you. And no matter what, no matter what your marital estate is worth, no matter what the level of your finances is, this is a helpful reminder that you are your most valuable asset. And when you don't take care of that asset physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, you're compromising all the outcomes. And my heart just goes out to everybody who's experiencing that kind of injustice. Now, don't hear me say that I believe anything has gone wrong, because I don't. I don't believe that it's gone wrong for her or for you if you're in a similar situation. But I do understand and have so much compassion for the emotional experience that we have to walk through when those are our circumstances. But there is still incredible opportunity to decide, I am not going to continue to engage in this power dynamic, because as long as I do that, I lose. We have to find a way out of the power dynamic. We've got to stop consenting to it. It's one of the most important messages that I will continue trying to convey over and over again, because I continue to see it being the first thing that goes. When you're worried about money, when you think you're not going to have enough, when you have judgment about spending money on yourself, at this time. And I don't care how you do it. I don't care if it's with me, but I want you to hear me say, I don't think you can afford not to do it in some capacity, whatever that looks like for you. Because we don't change the system from within the system. We have to step out of the dynamic that everyone has agreed to. It's absurd that this is even the story we've decided is the best story about divorce. What? Who decided this? This is the worst thing I've ever heard of. Like, we've decided it's just this big problem, this scary thing, and now we are creating evidence that that's true. And we don't counter that culture by agreeing with their premise. We have to step out of it. And then we need powerful women to take care of their business, to clean up the mess in their lives, to get divorced, to harness their power, and to live out their purpose, to be examples of what's possible. And then the trickle down effect, the ripple effect of that's how we create change. We need to empower women, especially, but men too, to own financial sovereignty, to create emotional resilience, to design their lifestyle around their vision, not what they think they can get and have to do. We have to have a vision-based decision-making process, not a scarcity one. And that consult with that sweet woman was such a good example of what happens when you don't have any of those tools or frameworks, and you're trusting that your lawyer and the legal system is going to guide you through this and justice will prevail. Because I wish that was true, but it's not always. And so we want to put you in the driver's seat of what you can control, and that is you and how you make decisions and how you communicate and who you decide to be and what you decide is possible for you. And it's not easy. It's sometimes feral. That's what I was thinking about the other day. I was like, this is ferocious. It's fierce. It is unhinged. I get it. It's unhinged. And innovation always appears unhinged to start with. It's like AI, unhinged. Everyone's unhinged. And now everyone's using it. I have these recipes in the pantry. Tell me what I can make for dinner. What a lifesaver, right? So this is going to feel a little bit unhinged. And that's how you know you're doing it right. I'm like, this is savage. It's absolutely savage what is happening. Like, the amount of adversity in my life since, early summer. There was a water damage. Now I have another hole in my wall because someone fell down my stairs and put their elbow through the wall. And I've had several water leaks and things with my kids and things in my business and things with my ex. And I'm like, oh, okay. What? I am not going to just lay down and accept that these things are happening to me, not for me. Forget it. I live that way. I hate it. I'd rather risk and lose everything than go back to that way of being in my life. But it doesn't mean that those urges and the temptation isn't there when the stakes feel high, when I'm disempowered, when I'm not clear on what's happening, or I'm feeling confused about what to do next. Of course, it's still there. And it still feels savage and unhinged to decide not to participate in that narrative of the poor single mother. And it is. So, welcome to the feral side of the internet, where I suggest things like maybe the legal process is irrelevant, because I want to shock you out of your scarcity. Wake up. If you have millions of dollars, you can't afford not to take care of yourself. You're going to cost yourself millions. You can make it back. Okay, come on. Of course you can. Oh, especially if you're the primary breadwinner and you feel like, wait a minute, these laws are not set up for me. I took care of all the kids and I took care of the money, and now I'm having to pay somebody like he was the primary caregiver? Give me a break. It can be so crushing and disempowering. If you don't overcome it, it will hold you back. You'll still be good. You'll still be good. But it won't be great, and it won't feel great. It won't feel as good as it looks, and it won't feel completely aligned with your authenticity, the truth of who you are, the truth of what you want, that you're afraid to admit. It just can never, unless you decide that you're going to invest in your energetic, emotional skill set and your mindset. Don't do that. Don't end up on a consult with me panicked. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You got to go first. I promise you, when you go first and you decide that you're a sure thing and you are not going to be risk adverse and you are not going to play to lose, you're going to play to win. I promise you, the universe always comes in and co-creates with you. You create magic when you do that. Okay? Very passionate about this, if you can't tell. But I am. Because you millionaires out there, you're working the process backwards. The women, even including myself, I did not get divorced with millions of dollars. We kind of have to work from the inside out. I have to create safety and security from within me first, and then it's reflected in my reality. And I had to do that from the get-go. But if you're coming out of your marriage with millions of dollars, you have spent years believing that the millions of dollars has created the safety and security and the abundance that you felt. And that's a lie. So you have to work the process backwards. You have to figure out how to believe that all of that was a reflection of some part of you. And if you did it once, you can do it again. I don't care if you were the stay-at-home parent. And reclaiming that kind of financial sovereignty is, I won't say harder, but it's a different process than creating it from the inside out, and before you have millions, instead of creating it from the inside out after you already do, and you've gotten very comfortable giving money all the credit for how you feel. You think money determines how you feel, and it does not. You do. You do. And I can see, after talking to hundreds of you, that is a scary gap to begin closing. But it's so good when you do, because I'm working with you, and they will attest. These women will attest. It's so good when it finally clicks and they get it. And they just get to enjoy the abundance that they have and create more from desire and not live in scarcity and take their time. It's the sweetest freaking spot to be. But you have to close the gap first. And you think you can't afford to do that. And I'm here telling you, you can't afford not to. We really need you well-resourced emotionally, not just financially. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I love you so much. I will see you back here next week. Thanks for listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast. If today's episode resonated, please take a minute and leave a review. It helps women find this work and change their lives and divorces too. For more support, be sure you follow me on Instagram at Megan Norris Coaching. That's where I share real-time strategy, perspective, and what it actually looks like day to day. And when you're ready to go deeper, join the Divorce Academy, my monthly membership for women navigating divorce with clarity, power, and community. I'll see you next week. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for legal, financial, or mental health advice. Please consult with licensed professionals as needed.